Well, while these fresh accusations come to light, NATO airstrikes are targeting the Libyan capital with increased frequency at the moment. For more on the military strategy and the options going forward, I'm joined now by retired Lieutenant General James Dubik, a senior fellow at the Institute for the Study of War. Thank you so much for coming in, General. It does appear that NATO, we've had this, the news from the criminal court today, but also these NATO strikes which are stepping up against Tripoli itself and trying to target Gaddafi, it seems increasingly. Is that your perception?
Well, I think the line that was initially drawn on the use of military force to protect civilians but not to oust Gaddafi has been crossed, and it's clear to everyone that NATO airstrikes really have a dual purpose. Number one, to protect the civilians to the extent that they can, and number two, to contribute to the pressure to oust Gaddafi.
This weekend marks the 12-week anniversary of these strikes. It doesn't seem, and you've said this yourself, you said it back in April, that airstrikes, however, are enough to get rid of him. So what are the options now?
I still hold to my position that airstrikes alone will be insufficient. We've been in really substantially no improved situation since the end of the first month of the intervention with respect to protecting civilians. Those who are protected by the rebels stay protected. Those who are under Gaddafi's regime may or may not be protected, and those in the intervening fight are caught in the crossfire.
And that's a kind of stunning realization, isn't it? The fact that for the last 2 months, with all the money that this has cost, all the firepower that has been thrown at this in Libya, we are in a situation where things aren't changing, where there is still a stalemate.
And it's a matter of choosing an improper means to accomplish the end. Air power alone can't do this job of protecting.
So what would you have NATO do?
Well, I think there are two immediate things that we should do. Number one, step up the number of forward air controllers on the ground so that the air power can be used closer to the rebel forces. There are some NATO special operating forces, some intelligence officers doing this. The number you can't tell from open sources, but more is required. Second, we need to step up the number of trainers for the rebel force. The UAE and Qatar have some trainers there, but substantially the rebel force is not significantly better off now than they were 2 months ago. A rebel force on the ground with an air power that has a little bit more precision and coordination ability will increase the probability that the rebels can expand their zones of control. But that's the best we can hope for.
General Dubik, would it have been a better scenario? I know that the United States wanted to, the phrase goes, lead from behind in this instance, but actually has Libya shown the failure of that as a strategy, and that actually if U.S. military forces are going to be committed, America has to lead?
Well, I'm not one to think you can lead from behind ever. You can lead from the front. You can lead with others in a group, but behind is not something that I believe is really possible. This is a NATO operation, and U.S. is part of NATO. I think the real issue, though, that often goes unaddressed is what happens after Gaddafi leaves. And the report that you saw, the allegations of rape, really bring home the fact that there are going to be 4 big vacuums after Gaddafi leaves. Number one, economically, much of his oil infrastructure has been destroyed, disrupted. The international workers gone. Number two, social trust is eroded. Number three, the regime is Gaddafi. The institutions of the government are going to be gone. And number four, the security vacuum. Certainly, Gaddafi's forces are not going to help fill it.
Retired General James Dubik, thank you very much. A very complicated picture there, clearly, in Syria, in Libya.